Silva Stadium in Miami, Florida. A big matchup between the Miami FC and Charleston Battery. Tonight's game is brought to you by Helb's Unlimited Rides for $29.99. Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr here with you, getting you set for this one. Really excited to bring you this Group H matchup. Let's take a look at the standings right now in Group H. Tampa Bay leads the way. They just need a point, and they will wrap up the top spot in Group H. Charleston Battery looking for 2 wins to possibly grab home field advantage. Let's take a look at the race for first between Charleston and Tampa Bay. Obviously, Tampa Bay has the inside track, Devin, but Charleston can still catch them.
And most importantly, both of these teams have already locked up spots in the playoffs, so that's a good thing. But what form are you going to hit once come playoff time? And also, what seed are you going to have? So simple enough, Rowdies get a point on the weekend. They clinch #1. And as we stand right now, if the Charleston Battery win their final 2 games tonight against Miami and at the Rowdies on the weekend, then it'll go to a points per game model. At that point in time, the league, again as we currently stand, will award the #1 position to the Charleston Battery.
So a lot to play for tonight for the Battery in a game that really is a must-win for them if they want to keep pace. As we take a look at the recap between Miami and Charleston in the season series so far, Devin, it's been all Battery. They've only dropped points once in the previous 3 meetings.
Off and running, and they've done it early too, Sean. That's one of the things that has been really impressive by the Charleston Battery over the course of this entire season. It isn't just the fact that they're getting results, is that they've always been on the front foot. They've always been the aggressor. Even when the goals haven't come, they've found a way to tickle the nylon. And that really hasn't changed in most of the Miami FC games that they've had to face. This is a team under Paul Daley, of course, after the change with Nelson Vargas and his departure, that doesn't lack for confidence. The problem is Lady Luck hasn't been on their side. They've dealt with weather delays. Pretty much anything that could go wrong in 2020 has. But the key area on the field they need to remember is that on the set piece and restarts, they have to be better. Because run of play, they've been a pretty good team. The problem is from restarts, they catch their wandering eye a little bit. They lose their relationships, and it's proved faulty against them. When you look at the other side of the ball, they've been pretty good. Results just lacking for them. And come 2021, this will be a much different Miami FC team.
Tonight's players to watch brought to you by Unánimo Deportes, El Poder del Deporte y la Cultura Latina. 2 to look at, both in the midfield, Crawford and Kelly.
Though I don't blame people around the league looking at the likes of Arthur Bashua, Zico Lewis, and Nikiu Daley. This is the engine room. Robbie Crawford, Angelo Kelly don't get enough recognition for what their roles are within this team. They're the glue that holds the back line and the front 4 together. They have a symbiotic relationship where they pivot as a single, they drop into 2. No matter what they do, they are efficient on the ball, and they lead this team from back to front.
Should be a fun one tonight in Miami. Charleston trying to chase down Tampa Bay for the top spot in Group H. Miami trying to play spoiler. It's Miami and Charleston, and it's coming up next.
The main objective that we want to do here with the Miami FC is to have what we do in the first team intertwined with everything that we do in the academy. Here in the Miami FC Academy, we have U8 to U19 age levels. We have very talented and very skilled coaches who tailor their training sessions specifically for their ages. A unique aspect that this club provides for all those that are involved is that we're going to have first-team coaches come down, help out with the coaching education, help out with the training sessions, and we're going to have first-team players come out, be part of the academy, be part of the training session. The most important thing that we have in this academy and in this club is family. Family comes first. We want to build a close-knit, family-based soccer club for the community and for all those that are involved.
Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr back here with you, getting you set for Miami and Charleston, a big match in Group H tonight in Miami, Florida. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Helb's Unlimited Rides for $29.99. Let's start with Paul Daley's 11 with a really dynamic front 3, Devin.
That is where the change comes in, the likes of Romario Williams, who steps in for Mo Chow. Otherwise, there's no changes whatsoever. Again, a really talented Miami FC team. High expectations coming into 2020, falling just short but an opportunity down the stretch, as you mentioned, to play spoiler, and they have the chemistry to do it. One of the players that keeps them in line to do it is their goalkeeper, Mark Pace. He has got to be the player to watch because of his form coming in. You know, he's had to deal with the competition between he, Brian Silvestri, and Brian Gamero. But given the past few games, Daley says this is his guy for good reason, making some spectacular saves in his way to maintaining the sweater. How about for the Charleston Battery, the visitors, who might be in the best form of any team in the USL Championship? You heard it here first. Two changes. Stavros Zaracostas goes to the left. Sechero drops in just underneath the Q Daley. And what you really want to keep an eye on with this team, fantastic back four. We talked about the two midfielders. Watch the right side where Zico Lewis starts to tuck himself in. He creates 4 or 5 guys running forward, and Logan Gadula holds down the fort.
See there, Charleston in their road whites with the yellow stripes and the black shorts. Miami in their always colorful blues with the orange sleeves. And we're underway from Miami, Florida. This big Group H tilt gets kicked off. First thing that comes to mind, at least for me, Devin, I'm wondering if you have the same idea here. Last time they played here, the turf was a big point of discussion for Charleston in the possession battle. Early win back there for Charleston through Gadula. What are your thoughts on how Charleston's adapted to that? Coach Mike Anhauser told us in training it was a bit of a discussion.
I'm with you on that one for sure. And, you know, it's one thing to experience it quite regularly. When it's from time to time, you really have to adjust your thought process because the ball does sit differently. You're not training on it. Elements can come into play, wind as well out here in South Florida. And so you'll notice every now and then things will be a touch off in terms of ball movement for the Charleston Battery. But that's why you have to rely on simplistic movements. You know, understand that when you're going side to side with Van Schaik and Leland Archer, you need to trust your positional movements. Spread the ball wide, keep the ball on the deck, and then if need be, test yourself, but do it in a complementary fashion. So you're doing it 30 yards from their net instead of trying to play out of the back when Miami FC are pressuring you.
So 1-1 draw back on September 5th when these two last got together down here in Miami. All over the top. Could be a chance here for the Battery in behind. Bit of a tanglement, and it's going to go out wide for a corner, looks like, for Charleston. Good ball over the top there, and the Battery have a set piece inside 2 minutes here. Keys to the game tonight brought to you by Root Smarts. When you eat your veggie chips from far to bag in 24 hours.
One and done for the Battery. You know, it's easy to look down the line and think, we have to do this, we have to do that, then points per game. One and done. Go out, get 3 points, then move on. That's simple as that. Don't worry about anything else. And for Miami FC, smash the audition. All of these players are vying for a spot, not only on this squad, but the possibility of another team come 2021. So you want to make sure, go out, put in a solid performance so you have that opportunity come next year.
A bit of a discussion in the penalty area. Frederick Ronning was having a discussion. Our center referee tonight. Corner kicks by Demi Pais. Into the penalty area it comes. A foul might take this the other way in Miami's favor. There was a collision just outside the 6-yard box, and there's a player still down here for Miami. And it looks to be Williams.
There was just a scuffle on those near post runs that were coming in off the corner. That was a little outswinger, a lot of bodies on the near post. Just right there on the back side of things. Romario Williams tracking back, helping out from a dead ball situation. Just catches one across the jaw.
Logan Gadula the closest there for the Battery, but it's going to be a free kick going the other direction. Last time out for Miami, a tough, hard-fought 1-0 defeat to Tampa. Coach Paul Daley telling us, you know, it was the 3rd game in 6 days, and just happy with the way his team fought. Obviously, this team is a team that's getting healthier as the season has gone on, and getting a lot of weapons back, especially in the attack, for a team that certainly was a talking point at the beginning of the season for what they could possibly bring to the table, and they certainly have made an impact in this group, but certainly the fact that a team with talent and experience is not going to make the playoffs is a bit of a disappointment. But they can still make even more of an impact if they can get a result tonight It's the Charleston Battery team that's trying to stay unbeaten for a 10th consecutive game on the bounce. Ball goes out of play for a throw-in. Franco will take it for Miami. Charleston, 2-0 win last time out against Miami at home. Loudoun game, of course, not played due to Loudoun's season ending. But of course, playing in Charleston can be a lot different, not just because of the turf, but because of the conditions as well than Miami. Depends on the day sometimes. Ball in behind here, chance for Miami. It was swept aside by Kuzminski. Kuzminski does really well to pick out a pass to the far side. Gadula, though, first time ball, gives it back. Chance here for Velasquez. Velasquez in behind. Maybe just a touch too far out in front of Prince Saidi. Not a bad idea, though, there. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Athletic Rehab Center, the leader in sports medicine. Visit one of their facilities in Dade or Broward County. Call 305-405-0400 to make an appointment, or visit athleticrehabcenter.com. One of the biggest pieces of news that, or not maybe not news, but one of the stories that we're talking to Mike Anhauser, the loss for Mario Piggott to an ACL injury. Certainly a tough blow for Charleston, even though they've been so good with their depth this season.
They actually did it in that previous matchup against Miami FC, 15 minutes into their match. Mario Piggott, who has been such an integral piece, won't be seeing him again this year. And someone else you want to keep an eye on just to see how this plays out, Nico Rittmeyer. It's more precautionary here. They're not going to commit to an injury just yet, but he was held out of training just a little bit. You know, make sure that they keep him healthy. Some quality rest and recuperation should do the trick. Again, you're looking at a Charleston Battery squad that, when it comes to their front attacking movements, Sechero, Daley, Zico Lewis, Zeta Costas. We talked about Arthur Bashua earlier. You can throw Jesus Ibarra into the mix. And of course, Nico Rittmeyer. It's a really deep group. Even Mike Anhauser admits this might be one of the most deep, but more importantly, talented groups that he's ever had. You're looking at a coach that's got a pretty long tenure.
You mentioned to us, doesn't have a guy like Romario Williams up top that used to score goals at a high clip for him, but now it's more about balance, it's more about depth. Charleston Battery have it in bunches. Not a bad idea. No look in behind from Velasquez. Was cut out by the Battery. Chance maybe at a counterattack here, but it's, at least for the moment, slowed down as Crawford had to recover. Daley off a nice first-time pass. It's a lovely ball in behind here, but the goalkeeper gets there first. And with a pass back from A.J. Patterson, it nearly goes goalkeeper to goalkeeper, and Charleston can reset. Lovely pass there by Lewis. Ball in behind Daley. Still Daley. Has some help on the near side, and a shot comes in. And it's over the top. Well, Zaracostos certainly has it in his locker and nearly lit up the Miami night with this strike.
Last time we saw him do that, he's had a couple this season. Last time was in the 1-1 draw back on September 5th. It was a run of about 2 or 3 games where it seemed like all Stavros could do was score bangers. He's capable of it. Great IQ, understands exactly where he's supposed to be, and that's a pretty good look at it, where just sits outside, allows the play to develop to him. Again, that trial by fire attack that you were referencing, Sean. Sometimes team can get themselves into trouble with it because they'll rely too heavily on one player who's maybe bagging 10 or 12 goals, and then you'll grab one here and there from everybody else. But that's not the case with Charleston Battery. They go deep. Niku Daley, 3. Zeta Costas, 3. Sechero, 2. Zico Lewis, though he plays out on the wing, is their leading scorer at 6 goals, and you can kind of work it all the way back there. So they spread it out, but it's not thin. Everybody willing to put in the work.
Zaracostos again. Didn't quite find anybody on the other side of the 18-yard box. Touch was missed, it looked like, from Bezecourt, it's one back by Charleston. Patterson. Crawford. Lovely ball to find Patterson. It could open up here for Charleston. It's a searching ball into the penalty area. First time strike. It's right at the goalkeeper Pays, who holds well, from Zico Lewis, who's always a factor when he gets the ball at his feet inside the penalty area. Seems like this season when Zico Lewis gets the ball at his feet, you think he's going to score. This time, though, couldn't quite beat the goalkeeper. What can Miami do to answer here? Velasquez. Smothered. Kuzminski's able to gobble it up. Provide some good distribution again, the goalkeeper. Cicero to Daley. He has Lewis behind him. Up to a supporting Crawford. It's really good ball movement here from Charleston. And Zico Lewis ambitious with the volley attempt, and then his searching cross is blocked out for another Charleston corner.
They're pretty impressive in build-up, and just watch the pivots that you get out of everybody. The first one comes from Angelo Kelly, then Robbie Crawford drops as the lone soldier. Good ball down into the channel, and then they go to work. Look at all the runs that you get out of the Charleston battery. Angelo Kelly, as mentioned, initially pushed his line up high. Cicero's in there, Niku Daley. Zico Lewis finally gets the strike off. That's why they're so good. They have so many weapons going forward, and yet everybody still holds their shape.
It's a good ball in here, just skimmed over the top. Lewis trying to get it back into a dangerous area. Zaracostos assessing his options, finds Lewis. It's a good ball in, it should be 1-0, and it's missed twice on the doorstep. And then Crawford's blocked for another corner. Goodness me. Daley missed it, and then Cicero missed it.
Again, beautiful distribution coming in. Just look at how patient they are. Always willing to wait. They go quick on the corner, though.
Lewis. Zaracostos! Another chance for Daley, and he scores! Well, they've been knocking on the door, Charleston, and they get their reward inside 12 minutes, and the Battery take the lead in Miami.
It's the first step of many for the Charleston Battery, but they have been running in the opening minutes here of this match. Push after push, constantly applying pressure. Great ball from the backside, and this is one that you just put into the mixer, Sean. You see all the bodies in there. There's a danger area. Drop this square back across and let somebody get on the end of it. Why not Niku Daley? Fourth of the season, but most importantly, first of the night, and there's the momentum they're looking for on the road.
Niku Daley now has the second leading scorer spot on Charleston's roster all to himself after another fantastic attacking sequence from the Battery. They missed it earlier. Daley missed it earlier, Devin. This time, he wasn't going to miss from there, was he?
Funny, because we were just leading into how patient this team is. If you watch the buildup, they sit back. They never hit the panic button. But they're smart when they try and go fast, right? You saw the calculation that, okay, they catch Miami FC sleeping a little bit from the dead ball in the corner, and they play quick. And by doing so, they actually had runs already previously established from the ball that was just whipped in. Everybody just holds their spot. They say, okay, this is going to come back in quick, and that's why you have so many options. Niku Daley, just one of them.
Gadula, after he controlled it, finds the goal scorer Daley. Lewis, who's been all over the place in a good way in this first sequence of the game, the first 13 minutes. From the near side, the far side, everywhere in between, it seems, for Charleston. Crawford saw the idea, got a thumbs up of approval from Zico Lewis, but it ends up going harmlessly to the goalkeeper Pays. Forward looking for Williams for Miami. Gadula might have fouled him there, and he did. Free kick taken quickly by Miami. Bulldog Leash, coach for Miami, told us he loved the way his team fought, despite dropping all 3 points against Tampa Bay last time out. So Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league, and we gave them a really tough fight. Now his team's looking to respond, down by a goal to nil in the early sequences here in a game where they're trying to play the spoiler role. So far, it's been Charleston with a bit of an avalanche of attacks, if you will. Haven't really seen Miami with the ball at all in the Charleston final third.
But that man right there, Harrison Heath, can get them back on track. And just 15 minutes in, remember coming in, we highlighted the fact that this team has really struggled from set pieces, and once again, it comes back to bite them. I understand it's from a quick restart, but you cannot switch off, and we said that no matter how good you can be from the run of play, though we by no means have seen a 90-minute performance from Miami FC, Paul Daley admitted that, they still have to be better from restarts. Charleston Battery have obviously done their homework because they showed them 3 different looks in the opening 12 minutes. 30% conversion. Here they go again.
Could be another chance here. Niku Daley's in one-on-one. It's Daley for Charleston, and it's a wonderful save by Pace. One-on-one. Daley could have already had a hat trick for the Battery in the first 15 minutes. And it's out for a Battery throw on the far side. Boy, Niku Daley's been rampant for the Battery so far tonight. Miami's holding on at the moment. Controlled by Archer. Gadula, searching ball near the penalty area. Could fall here for a chance for Lewis. Did he handle it? It was blocked. Zaracostos gives chase. And it's cleared out of there by Endam for a throw-in for Charleston. Good ball into the penalty area there by Kelly. Was cleared away by Miami. Can Williams break through here for Miami and give them a chance to regroup?
Again, on the restart on the far side, they just allow the ball to be thrown in and pretty much let the Battery do whatever they want. And I'm looking for Tomas Granito and Vincent Bezegor to start to get a bit active here, because there's separation between Saidi, Williams, and Velasquez, which isn't the worst thing ever. But the problem is you get this gap right down the middle. And take a look right now. 3 white shirts, no central players from Miami FC. And you want to play on the wings, that's fine. But you got to find a way to make an impact on the interior as well.
Wasn't a bad idea, but nobody really there for Miami making a run. Spinski able to easily gobble it up. Saidi, one of his few touches so far for Miami.
Sean, just one side note that is related in terms of fixtures going on, because we have so many playoff implications going on right now. Sporting Kansas City 2 have actually scored in the 41st minute. Wilson Harris, their young starlet, netted again. Indy 11, in case you haven't really had your head on a swivel looking anywhere else outside of this group, the 2 groups I should say, the 11 are in a situation where a win gets them in. A draw is not good enough, because they then travel to St. Louis FC on the weekend. So right now, wheeling and dealing, and you know, Miami FC trying to do the same thing. They would like to push off the Charleston Battery in their #1 seed overall aspirations.
Williams held off the defender well and wins a free kick just outside of the arc of the penalty area. Well, they can't celebrate yet, obviously, St. Louis fans, but that is a goal that gives them a little bit more life. Obviously, everyone talks about Group B. Before we talk about that, here's the great play by Williams. It was a bit of a shirt pull there by Leland Archer.
Yeah, in this day and age, they kind of go for anything. And they have a couple really talented ball strikers here. Love what Harrison Heath can do from set pieces. Tomas Granito can throw his name in there. Romario Williams, of course, their talisman up top. But again, centrally located, you can challenge the goalkeeper in a multitude of ways here. Only 4 on the wall. They have thrown one of their big center backs, Hassan Endam, in the way. Try and cause a bit of vision problems for Joe Kuzminski, but left to right footer, you've got the world to work with.
Granito, Williams, and Velasquez are over this for Miami. It's Romario Williams, and it hits the wall. Not quite cleared, though, only as far as Velasquez, who does well and wins a throw-in. Gives Miami another chance here. And everyone looks at Group B as far as one of the groups of death, but Group B has certainly been another. It's been topsy-turvy, and we could have a few more twists and turns in that group by the end of the season. Chance for Miami here. Leland Archer there defensively for Charleston. And it's a corner kick.
The little things as well, Sean, that sometimes you just can't get right. It's a great little 1-2 combination down in the corner, but Othello Bop, the recipient of the second ball through, just pump fakes a little bit, and that tiny little hesitation gives the Battery the opportunity to get back in, and he did have runners in the box. It's kind of been the 2020 season for Miami so far.
Pretty good wall whipped in here, headed away by Kelly. And Charleston looked to bring it the other way here through Daley. Daley was hounded for a moment. It's won back by Miami. Franco actually tried to find Granito, and then it's won back by Charleston. Zaracostos, Sichero. A few options for Crawford here. Gadula. Crawford. Here's the stars, Zico Lewis. Patterson. Kelly, and again, Charleston happy now just to be patient. The way they've been playing, they've been able to break down Miami's back line a number of times already. A bad idea here over the top for Sichero, but he's offside. And it goes against Charleston that time.
A little pivot up top with Nicu Daley and Mauro Sichero. It's easy to look at them and say, oh, okay, they line up this way, but there is so much rotation coming out of this team right now, and that's one of the issues you're having in the midfield for Miami FC. Nicu Daley usually runs as the #1 up top, but if you watch defensively right now, they get very flat, and they try and make you play quickly through the lines. The problem is if they get beaten once, next man up steps over pretty rapidly. And defensively, they're having trouble.
Velasquez finds Williams, and it was just touched away by Van Schaik at a vital moment. It will be a corner for Miami on the near side.
Much better step here, though, and what I was going at there was they're basically almost like a pendulum in the midfield where Harrison Heath is sitting underneath, and you've got Bezecourt and Granito pretty much sliding side to side. If they go 1v1, they win that battle, then you can spring the likes of Sebastian Velasquez, who can combination play with Romario Williams up top. That's where this team is at their best. Just haven't exactly found their way so far.
And the Demi Pais corner here. The ball in punched away. It's flung back into a dangerous part of the penalty area. Williams tried to set it up here. Still not cleared. Opportunity here. Shot comes in. It's blocked away by Patterson. Still not dealt with, though, by Charleston. Could fall for Velasquez. And he was driven away from the goal. Still not cleared. It's ruled to be out of play for a goal kick. Oof. Charleston nearly let in the equalizer there, but did just about enough. That's much better from the attacking power of Miami. Zaracostos wins a throw-in for Charleston. So all of a sudden they're trying to slow it down a little bit. Miami's starting to turn it up a bit over the last couple of moments. If it wasn't for that vital touch by Van Schaik, it could have been 1-1. Cleared out for a throw-in.
This is an area where you apply a bit of pressure, Sean, and you can really be rewarded for your efforts. Angelo Kelly, Robbie Crawford at this point in time. You can see the separation is about 20 yards, 25 or so. Now it's starting to close the gap a little bit, but that's where on the far side, Miami FC, you press a little bit, go win a 2v1 or 3v2 battle. Now you've got the space in the midfield that was previously occupied by the opposition, and you can use that to your advantage.
Saracostos with the ball in. It's a corner. Zico Lewis was searching for it in the penalty area. Took a deflection last off of Miami.
Instead, they don't. Ball comes all the way back across the pitch, and you get a makeshift opportunity from this near touchline. You cannot allow the Charleston Battery just get look after look, because they will make you pay in one way or another. This one's pretty simplistic, where not a lot of rotation. Ball just comes all the way from the right, back out to the left. And Zico Lewis, there's the inversion that we talked about, where he's willing to come 25, 30 yards inland to try and find form.
In by Crawford. Handball appeal briefly there in the penalty area. Lovely dummy to let that run for Crawford, but Crawford did not get back into an onside position in time. Last 5 or 10 minutes have been better, certainly attacking from Miami. Defensively, those seem to be the same problems.
Still off for sure. And sometimes that can be something that plagues you an entire match. Unfortunately for Miami FC, it's never an entire match for them. It's these windows. And the problem is offensively, they haven't been able to provide enough respite.
Crawford, pardon me, Devin, booked for that challenge as Miami were trying to break forward.
You got to take pressure off yourself, and even when you get a little break and it's taken apart by the likes of a Robbie Crawford who understood the counterattack was coming, things slow down now. Heads up, have a conversation, Harrison Heath, and set this opportunity up right now. You're 40, 45 yards from net, still plenty of space to work with, if not further. But you have a lot of big bodies to work with, and just calm things down. Don't worry about the fact that you're down 1-0, 27 minutes in. Plenty of time to get back in. Just looking for one moment to give you that opportunity. Say, hey, you know what, boys, we can do this.
Yellow card for Charleston Battery.
An opportunity there for Miami, but they let it go to waste.
Number 6, Robbie Crawford, has earned his first yellow card.
For a goal kick. As a court. Searching ball here for Marco Franco on the near side. Velasquez assessing his options. Trying to hold off Saracostos. Now he's attracting a crowd here. Heath. And again. Granito, Heath, Franco, locked away. Saracostos does well backtracking for Charleston. And Franco was deemed to have touched it as it rolled out of play. Both benches, well, let's just say one argued when it was against them, and the other argued when it was against them after the change, and it's going to go Charleston's way. There's Mike Anhauser, longtime head coach of the Charleston Battery. He was beaming about his team, Devin, when we had a chance to talk with him earlier this week. I mean, he's so happy with the way this team has played over the last couple of weeks, and said the sky's the limit for the postseason. They're not thinking about it, but they just think that if they can get in and maybe even get a home game, you never know. They have as good a chance as anybody, and they feel like they do.
This is one of the few teams that have the luxury of knowing that they've already booked a place in the playoffs, and now it's just fine-tuning their form coming in. The quality rotation that we've made reference to for Mike Anhauser's boys can be replicated only in the forms of a few teams around the league. a la Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Louisville City. And those would probably be my three, including the Charleston Battery in the Eastern Conference. Western Conference, you know, you can look at teams like El Paso Locomotive. They get a lot of rotation, good ball possession. Maybe even an argument for New Mexico United and that sort of reference. Otherwise, it's a bit more open on the west side of things. So you do see a lot of movement here in the East. Defensively, a bit more stout. You just sort of wonder who's going to end up getting home field advantage for the Charleston Battery and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Of course, Miami FC feels like they should have something to say about that, and they definitely do. If you watch their build-up, Sean, they're not poor by any means. It's the little things here and there, like that.
Daley leaves the defender in his wake and scores his second. He's had so many chances in this first half. Daley has a double for Charleston, and they're 2-0 up in Miami.
One of those moments where you put your head down, and I said like that because there's no reason whatsoever this challenge gets won. Notice how high Othello ball is. That's fine. As Hassan Dam comes over, you cannot allow the striker from the opposing team to get in behind you like this. You have the big body and the presence for a reason. Instead, Daley takes him for a ride. Plays the angles game, puts the afterburners on, and roofs this thing. And you pretty much can't ask for a more perfect start for the Charleston Battery.
Well, Zico Lewis better watch his back because Daley is on his back for the goal leader for Charleston Battery. 4th and 5th of the season tonight. As we head into the first half hydration break, Daley has a brace for Charleston, and the Battery are in complete command in a game they have to win if they want to stay on track to potentially getting the top spot here in Group H. Yeah, the defense at times has been a little sleepy, I think, for Miami. They've been trying to keep up, and they got to wake up if they want to get back into this one. Let's take a look at what we've seen so far, Devin, in this first half. Really, it was a Charleston avalanche out of the gates.
The thing you have to keep an eye on for this team is not only the efficient, but they're efficient in numbers. So we initially spoke of Angelo Kelly and Robbie Crawford, but the ball movement side to side and then their ability to stretch vertically at a moment's notice is almost unparalleled. And it's so many different numbers going forward. Now, we've seen Daley multiple times tonight, but look at where the balls are coming from. Zetakosas on the left, Zico Lewis on the right. Robbie Crawford and Angelo Kelly are the architects of everything, but they also apply pressure when need be. You can see them go. That press comes intermittently, and it almost throws their opposition off because they don't see it for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, they've got 4 runners coming right at them. Daley on the first one, right down the middle, great ball over the top. The second time, he applies the pressure on the far side. Both Othello Ba, Hassan Dam get it wrong. Lance Rosebroom is trying to make amends on the tail end of it, doesn't have enough time nor space, and Daley makes him pay again.
Definitely not a stretch to say that Daley could have had 4 goals already tonight. He's got 2 of them. He had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, which you saw in that fantastic package there, and then he had that opportunity that Zerakostos swung in, and you're right really on the doorstep of the net. Couldn't make contact with the ball. So Charleston, yeah, they're 2-0 up. They're in complete command, but they could be 3 or 4 up, Devin, and that just shows you really how dynamic Charleston's been so far, but also the continuing problems Miami have had at the back.
Well, this is something that Miami can take a page out of because when you watch the build-up for the Battery, when they do take a chance, Sean, because they are so disciplined and efficient on the ball, it's far away from their own net. You know, you understand building out of the back. If I'm going to knock a long ball, I'm going to put it on a rope. I'll let one of my big boys go get it like Daley. Sachero can do hold-up play, and that's a nice little pivot that we'll get to in a little bit. But if they do take a chance, it's 40 yards from Miami FC. It's 30 yards from Miami FC. This is a team that has 8 players. Passing accuracy in their opponent's half is, inside 40 yards, over 73%. There are teams in the entire league that don't carry that efficiency on the field, yet alone on the offensive side of the ball. So that's why they're so good. They lock it down defensively, and they take their chances when need be. Miami FC can do the same exact thing. When you're playing out right now, long ball over the top, got to find a way to give Romario Williams an opportunity to make a play on the ball. Because when you're knocking it in to the path of Jared Van Schaik, Leland Archer, that's a losing recipe every single time. Got to give him a chance to hold it up for you.
Bezecourt to Velasquez. Miami looking for something to get back into this game. Again, Charleston closed down Velasquez. They do win it back, though. Franco wins a throw-in. Again, despite Charleston's fantastic first half, still only 2-0, and this Miami FC team more than capable getting back into this. We've seen a few signs, maybe not enough, but we've seen some pieces of quality. Chance here. Good cross in, but too close to the goalkeeper. Miami's asking if it went out of play, and it did. It's a corner on the far side. Corner kicks presented by Demi Pais. DemiPais.com. Demi Pais, nuestro sabor. Let's look at it here.
An opportunity to work with you regularly. I didn't realize you were bilingual.
Only on the weekends, Devin.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, no, it's not good, is it?
Go. No, you're good. You're good. It's better than mine. I'll give you that one. Better than mine.
Corner opportunity here for Miami. Crawford's there at the near post. It's a second opportunity here. Can Miami get a foothold into the game? Another searching ball in. Van Schaik was the first to it. Franco. It's a good ball in, and it was headed away at the crucial moment there by Leland Archer. Not quite dealt with, though, fully. Miami come into the penalty area again, and Bezecourt just cut off at the vital moment. And now Charleston could be away here if they hurry. Kelly to Lewis, and Lewis's pass just too far in front of Crawford. And Franco tries to build back again for Miami.
Look at the battery reset, though. Miami FC almost have nowhere to go. Great job by Sebastian Velasquez to drop down in to the pocket and try and help out here. There is a little bit of changing of the guard going on in the midfield where he's starting to drop back in a bit more regularly, overload the space. They just have to communicate better because right now he's got plenty of space to work with in the inside. Play to Harrison Heath, head up, just keep the ball moving faster because the space is there. You just tinker with your shape a little bit, start to play chess. The battery are going to have to react.
All over the top, Williams, offside. That's how Miami can do some damage, just too early on the run from the always dangerous Romario Williams. 6 goals on the season. Leads the way for the Miami FC. Some vital interventions from Van Schaik and Leland Archer so far to keep the 2-goal advantage intact for Charleston. Van Schaik switches fields to Gadula. A little bit of pressure there on Crawford, who does well with it. Sechero almost lost it. Patterson for Daley, who's on a hat trick. Daley goes down. Referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge. Franco has it now for Miami. All over the top for Williams. And whether he's onside or not doesn't matter. It's too far out in front. Devin, you mentioned the game in Indy earlier. Indy 11 are level.
Oh boy.
With Sporting KC2 in the 51st minute, so there's a ton of time left. And now St. Louis FC fans are shaking a little bit. Again, a draw is not enough for Indy 11 to clinch a playoff spot. They have to win tonight, but they might have just taken a big step.
Well, remember, because of the way the tiebreakers play out, even if Indy lost, it's still not going to do anything because a draw does St. Louis no good on the weekend either. It all comes down to points, and because they're playing each other, you both gain 1, you're still behind 1. There's a Little follow through. How do you do by Romario Williams on Zeta Costas on this far side.
The goal for Indy, scored by Andrew Carleton from, I don't know if you heard of this guy, Tyler Pasher with the assist.
Look at that. Nice to see that duo getting back at it.
Here's Crawford for Charleston. Ball in towards Crawford, who went for the spectacular. Still kept in play by A.J. Patterson. Whips a good ball in, and it was nearly backheeled into the back of the net there, I think by Lewis.
Yellow card for Miami FC. Number 9, Romario Williams. Yellow card was earned at the 39th minute.
Watch out.
Here comes Charleston again off a mistake. And Lewis, ooh, you don't normally see that when you see the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes, but couldn't quite keep the ball at his feet. Miami come the other way with Velasquez. Good ball over the top for Williams, whose touch lets him down, and so did the run. Also, by the way, in the midst of the last couple of sequences, Romario Williams was booked, so he's on a yellow card for Miami. He's got to be a little bit more careful. It's not like he'll be getting into too many challenges, hopefully, if you're a Miami FC supporter. Here come Miami again. Velasquez. Looking over the top. Was the run timed well enough? It was not. And Prince Saidi nearly got in behind, but once again, Miami FC called offside.
Notice where the ideas are coming from, though. Sebastian Velasquez, who had initially started on this right side and is still coming out here for sure. He's starting to drop down in and help out Granito and Vincent Bezecourt. And this is the look where they're starting to find success, where defensively he's not tracking all the way back, but what you're getting is a different pivot, almost two, on the bottom side where both Granito and Heath are sitting a little bit. Sebastian Velasquez will come back, and they almost create a box in the midfield side. Now he's still coming to the right-hand side to help out Marco Franco. But when they have possession, he drops in, becomes the playmaker type role, and it's starting to open up these long channel balls up over the top because you're getting diagonals coming from Saidi and Romario Williams. Just need to be timed a bit better.
Gadula. Ball for Crawford. Not on the same page. Goal kick for Miami. Franco tries to build out of the back for the home side. We've been under pressure for most of this game. They've had a few opportunities, but not been able to put it together yet. Here's Williams. The ball was striding forward. Bezecourt. An opportunity for Granito. That's too far for Franco. Two Daley goals separate the sides. And it could have been more, frankly, for Charleston. The first 20 minutes were all battery, really. Bezecourt. Good ball in behind here for Miami. And the goalkeeper, Kuzminski, gets there first.
Joe Kuzminski, good little step in here. He grabs a tiny knock, but, you know, with an appearance tonight and then an opportunity to go a full 90 on the weekend against Tampa Bay Rowdies will actually make him eligible for the Golden Glove Award. If he were to keep 2 shutouts, he could actually set the league record, which is actually on track to be broken by a few goalkeepers this year. Record set, of course, by Brandon Miller, what he was able to do under Bob Lilly. in 2015 in the championship winning season for the Rochester Rhinos.
Switching fields here for Patterson. Miscue there sends Van Schaik all the way back. Van Schaik and Archer have had to make a couple of last-ditch challenges tonight. So Miami has threatened in this first half, but mostly the theme has been offside traps played by Charleston. Searching for Zaracostos, who's on the opposite side now, and he puts the pressure on here. Roseboom has to concede a throw in here as we enter the final few seconds of the 45 and into stoppage time. Gadula will reset. Stoppage time presented by Miami FC Youth Academy. Want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register. Chance for Kelly here to center the pass in. Lewis, and it's wide. Did it take a deflection? It did not. It's a goal kick. And the stoppage time is 2 minutes at the end of this first half.
Heck of a little buildup by the Charleston Battery just before halftime. Watch the flick coming around the outside from Angelo Kelly. And it's Roseboom. Didn't realize that he was going to get skating lessons tonight. And then all the way to the back door. It's still amazing to me in this day and age, now that your sample size has become much bigger with Zigo Lewis, that he's allowed to remain alone on that far side. So many teams have stacked up against him, and yet still they can't get the marking right.
Ball for Williams, who's blocked by Van Schaik. And it's a corner kick right at the end of the first half in the last minute of added time. Well, it is an opportunity for Miami to gain a lot of momentum here potentially if they can find the back of the net here, despite really being second best for the majority of this first half. Bezecourt will whip this in. Miscommunication between Crawford and Van Schaik. They're looking around wondering what happened there. It's another corner for Miami. Bezecourt will try this again. Basically the same spot, and it was headed high into the air by Seide, and that's the end of the first half here in Miami. Well, so far so good for the Charleston Battery, Devin, in their quest to find the top spot here in Group H, and Tampa could have a little bit more pressure on them if the score stays the same.
Tiny adjustment in the midfield, and just understanding that when the marks start to change, communication has to be better. As mentioned, Sebastian Velasquez starting to pick out some pieces for Miami FC. That could prove troublesome in the second half, but right now, Mike Hauenhauser's got to be pretty happy. 2 goals in the first half by DQ Daley, put them in the driver's seat. 45 minutes and an opportunity to come to secure the #1 spot.
We come back, we'll take a look at the dish and the rest of the scores around the USL Championship. At the half, it's Miami 0, Charleston Battery 2.
Welcome to Pita Zone, fresh Mediterranean grill. Halal certified, it's South Florida's choice for healthy and deliciously authentic Mediterranean flavors. Visit us at www.pitazone.com. We're partners with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Postmates. Go healthy, eat Mediterranean.
Les presentamos a Unánimo Deportes Radio, la nueva alternativa de la radio deportiva en los Estados Unidos. Un grupo selecto de profesionales con vasta experiencia y con el conocimiento de los deportes que a usted le interesa. Los invitamos a que vayan a escuchar Unánimo Deportes Radio en nuestras afiliadas y TuneIn. Somos Unánimo Deportes Radio. Unánimodeportes.com.
Back here in Miami, the score is Miami 0, Charleston 2. Let's take a look at this week's edition of The Dish with our very own Devin Kerr, the best in the USL Championship.
2 games, 8 goals. That's what separated the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic. Both wins coming for Bob Lilly's squad. But lest we forget, people, it's 2020. Hartford Athletic on the road. Ever Guzman fires it in the back of the net in the 36th minute. Bad touch on the outside by Patrick Bunk Anderson. Gets the touch wrong, doesn't get any help from the back line. That's trouble. Guess what? It is trouble because Hartford Athletic get the win. And with 2 games to go and only 1 for Pittsburgh, 5 back for Hartford Athletic, they have the opportunity, if they win out, they get the #1 seed in Group F. Michael Novotny will step into goal midweek. Hartford has to go Philly 2, Red Bull 2, Pittsburgh get Philly 2 on the weekend. Stay with me. Louisville, St. Louis, Group E. St. Louis need a win. They need a win badly, but Speedy Williams scores his 4th goal this season. That's a career high. By the way, it's pretty easy when no one marks him on the back post. Louisville is most assuredly going to end up as the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, right? Wrong. Pittsburgh Riverhounds still have a say about that. Charleston Battery, and oh, by the way, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Louisville get a victory. Indy 11 gets a win midweek. Tonight, they knock out St. Louis FC hosting Indy on the weekend. Let's go to Group A because Reno and Sac can't figure out exactly who's going to take this one down. Now, Reno is 100% in the driver's seat, but understand this, 1-0 Sac win, 3-3 draw, 1-1 tie, and a 1-0 Sac win. They're 2-0-2. They are undefeated at this point in time. Against who? Reno 1868. Some quality goals here. Brent Richards gets in the 44th, Deco Canon in the 51st. Back and forth we go, and still is yet to be decided. Reno 1 point in their final 2 games, and they clinch. Let's go to the final one. I'll tell you right now, Phoenix Rising hosting Orange County SC. Professional performance by Phoenix Rising. That's all you need to know. Maybe not necessarily their best game, but managed to perfection from start to finish. Rufat Dadashov still thinks that he has a claim to the Golden Boot Award. He scores in the 37th minute. He's still chasing down his compatriot, Junior Flemings. Orange County would double back a couple times, but the way things sit right now in Group B, that #2 spot is up for grabs. Everybody chasing Phoenix. Phoenix is probably going to clinch the group. Los Dos, San Diego, Orange County all still have a say who wants it.
Great stuff as always from Devin Kerr, and boy, can't wait to see what happens in the final few games in the USL Championship. We'll take a break. When we come back, news and notes, USL schedule. We'll take a look at the standings as well in the USL Championship.
Visit USLSoccerShop.com this Friday through Monday to claim at least 20% off at participating clubs' online stores.
What a beauty! It's fantastic! Sensational! Fantastic! Any way you slice it. This one he puts away, fires and scores.
What an unbelievable strike. Oh, what a goal.
There's the shot, it scores! Attacking, shooting, and scoring!
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr back here with you at the half. Miami 0, Charleston Battery 2. Good second half hopefully coming up in just a few moments. But before that, we'll take a look at the USL Championship news and notes. And obviously the race to the playoffs is on. Playoffs begin on October 9th, Devin, and 5 spots are still up for grabs. And obviously games like tonight, we're looking at seeding and who's going to win their groups.
I'm not really sure what to do, to be honest. There's just so much going on. And, you know, you think that nights like tonight, you and I have the pleasure of talking about Miami FC and Charleston Battery. Think, okay, maybe I'll go home, get an early in. Absolutely not. I'm staying up way past my bedtime to see what's going on in the Western Conference. And, of course, the USL Championship Final for the first time ever. It's going to be on the mothership Sunday, November 1st, 8:30 p.m. Espen.
Might as well clear your schedules for that one, no question about that. Also, Junior Fleming, shout out to him. Fantastic season for Phoenix Rising. Upcoming schedule in the USL Championship. These are the games that matter. We're keeping you up to date on that Indy 11 Sporting KC2 score. It's still 1-1 in the 68th minute. And obviously, San Diego and Phoenix, a big game for Landon Donovan's side as well.
Remember, for Hartford Athletic, they can still take down the #1 spot in Group F if and only if they win their final 2 games. They were up 2-0 in the opening 15 minutes. Union 2 grab one back, so it's 2-1 at halftime, still loads to play for, and if San Diego want any chance whatsoever, they have to get 3 points tonight. Can they go back-to-back against Phoenix Rising? Not many have done it and live to tell the tale.
Tulsa won, OKC Energy won, by the way, in the 26th minute as well. Here's what it looks like in the Group H standings for our game tonight. Obviously, we know who's going to make it out of this group. Charleston and Tampa have already sealed the deal there. Charleston, if the results go their way tonight, obviously just need to win one more, and they'll be the top spot in Group H and have a home playoff game in the round of 16 in the USL Championship playoffs.
To recap, that does come down to the tiebreaker, which would at that point in time, they would not be, at least from now, expected to play the 16th game. They would go by points per game because the Rowdies would end up losing their final 16th match, and we're just assuming to the Charleston Battery, they would actually carry a better points per game, which means they would get the #1 overall seed. They would discard goal differential, and they would get the tiebreaker.
Certainly a lot to look forward to there, and certainly a lot to look forward to in the second half as well. We'll take another break when we come back. Highlights and stats from the first half, and then the second half from Miami.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr back here with you. Miami 0, Charleston 2. Let's take a look at the first half highlights in this one. Obviously, in the early going, Charleston had the better of it, no question about it. An avalanche of chances early on, and then it became the Niku Daley show pretty quickly, Devin.
And that's the problem, is there are just so many weapons that you have to take into account for when you're playing the Charleston Battery, Sean. And, you know, whether it's from a set-piece opportunity, rotation to the top of the 18, look at everybody running downhill, focused, eye on the prize, and every single person you could ask to be on the end of this ball is right there. Cicero, Daley. Look at Zico Lewis on the back post. But, of course, the last touch comes from Nicu Daley. Good job, because there's a perseverance factor here. He doesn't get the first one in. He recognizes it, but he continues to go after it. Set pieces have been the Achilles heel for Miami FC the entire season. That proves true again. 12 minutes in, let's run it 18 minutes later. Nicu Daley, known for his speed, spreads the back line, keeps going. Probably should have been another goal. And then little mistakes. I talked about the windows where Miami FC starts to switch off, right? There's a tiny bit of pressure on the plate on the far side. There's no reason whatsoever that either A, the ball gets in behind Othello Ball, and B, Hassan Ndam gets thrown off of it like this. Lance Roseman at the tail end of it, trying to make his way all the way back across. But at that point in time, you know, you're basically walking to school uphill both ways in the snow, right? You got Nicu Daley, ball out in front of him, greenery to work with, and that 9 times out of 10, he's going to make you pay. He does it twice in the first half. Adds 4 and 5 onto the season. As you mentioned, just one behind Zico Lewis for lead within the Charleston Battery.
This halftime highlights brought to you by Root Smarts. As we take a look at the halftime stats brought to you by Helbiz. Helbiz, unlimited rides for $29.99. And obviously shots and shots on target heavily favored in Charleston's side of things. And obviously the 53% possession sort of goes under the radar when you look at really the amount of chances Charleston's created, and they could have been even more in front, really, in the first half.
Recognized coming out of the half, I mentioned how Sebastian Velasquez had started to drop in and help out in the midfield more central. You're going to get 2 looks right now. Number 1, can that continue? And if that does Saidi and Romario Williams start to run as a 2-man game up top? More importantly, how does the battery respond? Because they will have recognized that as well. So does the change come where, okay, we're going to go after this, we're going to keep showing them same look in terms of Miami FC? Or B, are we going to switch it up a little bit and keep the Charleston Battery guessing? Either way, you've got to find a way to continue the momentum, albeit 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the first half that you gained, to spill it over here into the second half and get back into the match.
Miami certainly created some chances in the first half, but many of them were half chances, and obviously a number of offside decisions went against them as well. Balls over the top for the likes of Romario Williams and Prince Saidi as well. Both of them trying to get over the top, get through the defense, but couldn't quite time up their runs. Nicu Daley's on a hat trick. That's certainly something to watch in the first half. Could have had 3, could have had 4, really, in the first half. I mentioned that one-on-one he had that you saw in the highlight package, and then also across the face of the goal that Daley missed, and Mauro Cicero missed as well right before Nicu Daley scored the opening goal. Looks like we're going to have a substitution right before the second half kicks off. 17 on for 8 for Miami. Brian James enters the fray, and Tomas Granito makes way. Substitutions brought to you by Baptist. So that change for Paul Dalglish's side is the first of the game for either side at the start of this second half. And now the second half is underway here in Miami as Miami try to find a foothold in the game and spoil Charleston's chances of climbing to the top of Group H by the end of the regular season. First goal from Daley came in the 12th minute. 18 minutes later, right on I should say the 30-minute mark, he scored his second, and that's where we stand at the moment. Gadula clears. As far as Roseboom, who heads it back into dangerous area. James to Williams. Offside appeal is waved away. Bezecourt trying to weave his way through 3 Charleston Battery defenders unsuccessfully. And it's cleared out for a Charleston throw on the near side as Hassan Ndam was able to get his foot to it. It's funny, Devin, at the beginning of the first half, we started by saying, well, you know, Charleston struggled with the turf last time they were here, and you want to throw those rumors into the shredder? You have a first 20 minutes like Charleston had. And the first 30 minutes if you include both of Daley's goals. Looks like they've been running on air for the first 45 minutes at times, especially going forward.
Yeah, it's definitely been a quality performance, but lest we forget, got to play 90 minutes, right? And last time I checked.
Miami's had some opportunities.
They definitely have, and again, some quality play, at least a couple looks going into the dressing room at halftime. Paul Daley talked about how much this team has really had to go through, and I think it's easy to look at COVID, and I don't mean that disrespectfully and maybe use that as a crutch, but it's not just that, because as a professional athlete, you're constantly challenging your body, your mind. You start to compact that into a much smaller time frame. Then you throw into the circumstances of quarantining, you know, the small bubbles that they put themselves into. It's nothing that anyone has ever experienced in their entire lives, let alone a professional playing career. And then you throw in the fact that Lady Luck isn't there. All of this is just one of the most difficult things you could ever ask for a player to go up against, and yet still they find a way to find glimpses of brilliance. And the problem is they're few and far between, but if you can replicate these 15 or 20-minute pockets, even over the course of 45 minutes right now, they can get right back in it.
Sidey with a good ball and should be one back and is one back. Well, right on cue, Romario Williams gives Miami hope. That didn't take too long. 3 minutes into the second half, and his 7th goal of the season gives Miami FC a foothold in this game at last.
Exactly what I'm talking about, and look at the movement here. Great job working out of the back. Marco Franco understands that, okay, he's going to get some help, but where is it coming from? Velasquez drops down in, but Sidey comes all the way back over. You stretch the back line and ask questions of everybody else. There's an over-rotation. Look at the vision. Sebastian Velasquez understands he's got the back post run, and then your talisman, Romario Williams, tucks this one home. Exactly what you need if you're Paul Daley in the Miami FC.
That Miami FC goal brought to you by Helbiz, unlimited rates for $29.99, and a goal that could really change the complexion of this game as Sidey's just offside again over the top as Miami looked for an equalizer. We mentioned it. By the way, that's the first shot for Miami in this game, and they've scored on it. And Romario Williams, yet again for the Miami FC, steps forward and is counted in a big way at the start of this second half.
At least they're efficient, right? Grabs the 39th goal of his USL Championship career. That, of course, has spanned quite a few teams, one of which they've obviously seen before, Charleston Battery. Bagged 25 between 2016 and 2017 for the Battery.
Good doula for Charleston. It finds its way all the way through here for Crawford, who lines it up and answers. Just like that, Robbie Crawford restores Charleston's 2-goal advantage, and they're back in the driver's seat.
Sean, it's a tale as old as time, but something that you hear as a young player moving up all the way through the professional ranks is you cannot switch off in the next 5 or 10 minutes after another team scores a goal. Couldn't have said it better considering the circumstances, because look at Miami FC. Squirming left and right, trying to find a way. They're just chasing at this point in time. Everybody ball watching. Plenty of numbers behind the ball, nobody marking up. That's your holding midfielder, Robbie Crawford, who rotates all the way to the back post. Quick little touch back inside. Scotsman puts him back up in front by 2.
I believe that's Robbie Crawford's first of the season for Charleston Battery, and they're back up by 2 goals. What a response by the roadside. And what an opening to this second half, a goal apiece. Here comes Miami again. It's Williams. Might have been dragged back. Ball. Trying to get it through Gadula. Keeps on going here. And it was Leland Archer with a vital clearance, and it's a corner for Miami.
It's Paul Dalgleish coming out of the locker room saying, boys, come on, let's get it together. Let's find a way back into this match. They do from Romario Williams. And then conversely, Mike Anhauser on the sideline saying, yeah, you guys want to walk home? Or at least all the way back to Tampa for Saturday? I need a response out of you now. Back-to-back from both of these squads in just a matter of minutes, 2 to be exact. We're pretty much right back where we started come the start of this second half.
And it could have been on there for Daley, and pays, luckily for Miami, sweeping it up from the goalkeeper's position, or it could have been Nikhil Daley in for another one-on-one. Heath. To Franco. And Patterson stands his ground in the face of Saidi, and then Miami FC player goes down there. Play continues for a moment. The referee will bring this back as Heath is down.
Looks like there was a flagrant elbow coming here from Zaracostas. Nothing massive, but it was on the left-hand side coming back across the body of Harrison Heath. As mentioned, he's their holding midfielder who seems to tie all of this together, trying to get stuck in on the far side, and just watch the left arm right there. Extends up from Stavros' midsection.
Again, Williams the target. He was squeezed in between by Van Schaik and Archer. It's easy for Kuzminski. When they've been called upon, Van Schaik and Archer have been as advertised tonight. It's all over the top here for Cicero. Flag stays down here. Mauro Cicero tried the pass across the middle. He finds Daley, who's on a hat trick, and Daley fouls on his way through. And Franco got there just in time. And then miscommunication off the quick restart. Ball wasn't looking for it. It's given back, but here's the chance for the Battery. Almost made it 4-1.
They're actually calling a handball right there. Pops up off the turf when Cicero trying to bring the ball back across. And just watch the shape change now again. So they bring in Brian James. As mentioned, Sebastian Velasquez had started to drop down in, but now instead of rotation from right into the middle, he's primarily come to the middle and is helping out a little bit on the left with Saidi going all the way to the far side. We've definitely seen that before, but it's another little tweak that you're looking for if you're Miami FC, where haven't been able to get most things right and you start moving things again. Now, I'm not second guessing that by any means, because you got to get this man on the ball right here. He can be the catalyst for this team going forward, but he's got to find some more support, because even as he starts to run, Romario Williams is almost playing hide and seek between the two center backs. Saidi is on the other side, and he's tucked in between Patterson and Van Schaik. Where's the help coming from in terms of the outside backs? You know, can Vincent Bezecourt or Brian James start to rotate over out of the midfield? Then Velasquez starts to come inside. Zico Lewis is basically tracking anywhere that he wants to go. Anheuser admits that, you know, we've pretty much given him free reign, but as a defender, you have to understand that.
Flag stays down here for Zico Lewis. Tried to find Cicero. Could fall for a chance here for Zaracostas. And he sends it soaring into the Miami night. He's had a couple of chances to get on the score sheet tonight.
This is what I'm talking about, though, because just moments before, Sean, Zico Lewis was basically playing as an 8. He was trying to track out and help out in the middle. And what's happening for Miami FC is you've got one runner that's starting to track over, and then all of a sudden Othello Baugh's kind of questioning, okay, where does my run come from? Like, look at right now. Cicero wide open, and then all of a sudden he's got to track all the way back outside. They're on the total opposite ends of the ball right now.
Gadula dispossessed. Lewis lines it up. It took a deflection. And it's out for a corner, I believe, on this near side for Charleston. Last off of Van Dam, who was able to be there and block it. Another chance for Miami to try to improve on their set-piece defensive acumen here. Here's Crawford. It's deflected away. Here's Lewis. Here's Archer from Van Schaik. Took a deflection off the Leland Archer shot, and it's another corner. Another corner presented by Demi Pais. DemiPais.com. Demi Pais, lo nuestro, no nuestro sabor. Chance here for Charleston. It's a good ball in, deflected out towards Lewis. Kelly. for another corner. And a Demi-Pais corner. On this near side, as Charleston look the more likely. There is to be more goals in this one, already 4.
You can do the read in Spanish. The key question is can you now translate to English? That, my friend, would be impressive. We'll save that for another time, though.
In by Crawford. Google Translate or no Google Translate?
You can use the Google Translate. I'm fine with that. Technology has a friend in Sean St. Jacques.
Another ball forward and behind. Patterson has been really good defensively tonight, helped out by his goalkeeper Kuzminski. Another ball over the top, this time by Zarakostos. Nobody there for Charleston. What can Miami do to get back into this game? They find themselves where they were at halftime, although they do have a goal now on the score sheet, as Angelo Kelly is dazzling with his midfield skill there. Finds his partner Crawford. Lewis. It's a good ball in. The header is flicked on and easy for the goalkeeper in the end. But just more fantastic build-up from the Battery. And then a foul on Patterson as Miami tried to break forward on the far side through Saidi. We're still down here for Miami.
Why they're checking Prince Saidi. Slow down in from behind. Pretty reckless challenge, to be honest. Wonder how he doesn't end up in the book for that one.
Card does stay in the referee's pocket and play continues here. Saidi was away, and like you said, Patterson didn't really get the ball at all. Play continues. Here's Heath. Could be an opportunity here for Saidi. Does pretty well to get past Van Schaik. And it's a corner. As it's booted into the stands by Van Schaik. And for time wasting, it's going to be a booking here for Jared Van Schaik. And that is frankly unnecessary from the center back.
I've been there, though. You have your moments. The best argument was because the ball's right there. It's right in front of me. Of course he planned to knock it off the boards the whole time.
Guess as far as he's concerned, he hit his target. The Demi-Pais corner here. What can Miami FC do with it?
Check out Vincent Bezecourt, who was all alone on the back post moments ago.
It is Bezecourt. Oh, it's wonderful. A fantastic header with a little dummy assist from Romario Williams. And dare I say it, with 30 minutes to go, Devin Kerr, it's game on again in Miami.
You could see this thing coming from a mile away. He started on the back, rotated up front, and then just look at him drift all the way to the backside again. Logan Gudula's got to step here. There's no reason he goes unmarked the first time, yet alone the second or the third. Both Gudula and Robbie Crawford with the opportunity to close him down. Instead, it's pretty easy for Vincent Bezecourt. Really successful with his career under the tutelage of John Wolenack at Red Bull 2, and he grabs his first goal in a Miami FC uniform.
Just the 6th different goal scorer this season for the Miami FC, and it's 3-2 with under a half an hour to play. Headed into the path of Bezecourt again, and it rolls in the end of the goalkeeper, Kuzminski. Miami FC goal brought to you by Helbez, unlimited rates for $29.99, and all of a sudden, it's back in the balance.
Before the goal, there was a
Crawford.
yellow card for Charleston Battery. Number 14, Jared Van Schaik. Yellow card was
They
granted
come
the
again,
60th
Miami.
minute.
Oh, it's really good play there by Velasquez. Could find the substitute in here. Chance for an opportunity, and it's slapped away by Kuzminski as James was in for Miami. And then a foul goes Charleston's way as Lewis was fouled.
Surprised the referee doesn't go to a card here for Othello Ball, and I do wonder why Joe Kuzminski doesn't catch this ball. The arm swat coming all the way back outside to challenge Brian James. So watch this little pirouette coming back up through the middle, going the other way. Good job by the midfielder. And then a quick little counter by the Charleston Battery, and Mike Anhauser's boys, they're scrambling a little bit right now. They need to calm the match down.
As a court, and it was, yeah, offside just by a hair. And the ball was too far out in front of him, I think, anyway.
Well, Philadelphia Union 2 have decided they're going to go ahead and make this interesting. Caden Stafford in the 60th minute have gotten it to 2-2. Hartford Athletic, they need 2 wins to get in. Sean, how about that Indy Sporting Kansas City 2 game? Still at 1-1, 92nd minute. Looks like it's going to be a win and in on the weekend unless something glorious at the end happens against St. Louis FC on Saturday.
And shake to Kuzminski. They actually cleaned that up pretty well there, the Battery back line. Boy, USL Championship drama. I mean, with the way it's played out, obviously, it's a scenario unlike any other with the pandemic, and there have been so many roadblocks this season, Devin, but the groups that have been put together have provided so much drama week in and week out. And days like today, it's minute by minute in the USL Championship. Speaking of which, here comes Miami. And this time Williams stood up only for a moment. Heath over the top here. Miami could be in here with Franco. It's a good ball in for Williams, and it's saved by Kuzminski. A corner for Miami.
Williams knows it as well. He congratulates the goalkeeper. Joe Kuzminski's going to get one touch coming back across the body. This has brace written all over for Mario Williams. Look at how good the run is. Understands that you've got A.J. Patterson too high. Robbie Crawford doesn't catch the back shoulder run. Mario Williams so smart in his surroundings.
The Demi Pais corner. Kuzminski didn't deal with it. Patterson did. Headed back into the danger area, cleared away by Gadula. Another opportunity here for Miami. Can they pull it back here? It's wonderful from Velasquez. Oh, it's sensational! How about that from Sebastian Velasquez? And it's 3-3 in Miami. 2-0 down, 3-1 down. Doesn't matter. Sebastian Velasquez, 3-3 with plenty of time to go.
Went through a run of form about 4 matches back. That's almost been unmatched, and he has so much work to do on this. Starts with the first touch. Second one gives him the opportunity to go left or right. And we said skates earlier, but this takes 2 to tango, and he doesn't want to do that. He's going all by himself. Wants to cut back in between. Zetakosis gets turned all around, and still, Kuzminski has so much to cover because no one challenges the run of Sebastian Velasquez. Does a good job giving himself the opportunity of getting it on that favorited left foot, and we're back to even Stevens.
Couple of changes there for Charleston, as it looks like it's going to be Gadula and Cicero who are going to make way here. And Dante Marini and Arthur Basua are the 2 that will come on here. Well, now they've got some work to do, the substitutes, because all of a sudden a 2-goal lead for Charleston has evaporated here. And there's still a ton of time left for a few more twists and turns.
More importantly, the play has been on the side of Miami FC, Sean. The build-up play, defensive shape is definitely getting better for Miami FC right now. And the Charleston Battery have still shown that they're in this match for sure. Glimpses like this with Zico Lewis on the end of the ball.
Opportunity here for Marini, who just came in for Charleston. It's a good ball into the opposite substitute, and it's off the crossbar. Basua nearly gave Charleston the lead right back.
These back post trailing runs for either squad have really been problematic. And quality vision by Dante Marini, because he puts it to the only place that his player can get it. Arthur Basua, great job on the trailing run. Understands that he's got to pick up the pace just at the tail end of it. And unfortunately for him, the woodwork is Mark Pace's best friend.
It's like Zico Lewis was actually booked during that last sequence for Charleston. Corner kick comes in, and it's Hayes, who's able to get there.
Yellow card for Charleston Battery. Number 10, Zico Lewis. Yellow card was given at the 66th minute.
Velasquez, who by the way now has 3 goals on the season for Miami. Another ball in behind here for Williams. By the way, Devin Kerr.
Yeah, I saw it. Go
in
ahead.
D1.
Go ahead.
Sporting KC 2.
Go figure. It's 2020.
And St. Louis fans have just been given a new jolt to life in the USL Championship. As you take a look there, Kyle Nelson came in during that last flurry of Charleston substitutions for Logan Gadula.
And to be clear, even if it was a draw, they still needed a win. And they still need a win no matter what. But I'll tell you what, Indy 11 has definitely not been at their best. And Sporting Kansas City 2 has slayed the Dragon twice at Lucas Oil this year.
Paulo Nagamura's bunch have got to feel great about the way they have finished this season. And really the entire season as a whole. They've really fought tooth and nail in that fantastically talented group. And Steve Tritchu's got a new lease on life right now. The last game in the regular season for St. Louis is going to be a heck of a watch against Indy 11.
Selfishly, I'm pretty excited to be on that one.
I was going to say, you'll be there, won't you?
Pretty excited to be on that one. Be alongside Mike Watts for...
That's going to be a lot of fun.
A heck of a matchup for sure. Still plenty of work to be done here as the issue is still in doubt.
I was going to say, you're in the middle of a good match here. You're going to have a heck of a week if it stays like this. As it looks like here in the 69th minute, we will have another change on the sideline here. Looks like Miami will make it. Franco, it seems, will make way. And Lloyd Sam will enter the fray. Substitutions for Miami brought to you by Baptist, and second sub made by Paul Daley tonight.
This is what I'm talking about. It's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde for Miami FC. This is a totally different team than what we saw in the opening 45 minutes. Listen to the fluidity of play. Good rotation. Outside backs much higher. Harrison Heath dropping in. Everything you could ask for if you're Dalglish. Where's the finishing touch?
It's a good ball in here. Could fall for Ba. And in the end, it's easy for Kuzminski in the end.
There's room here, Sean. They can run at it right now.
Here come Charleston with Nelson. He's got fresh legs, and he's dragged back initially by Velasquez, but he keeps on coming here. Here's Zico Lewis. It's a good ball in, took a deflection. Could fall for a chance here, and it was blocked away by Basua. Good fall for Crawford. Good tackle in there defensively by Ball to keep it away from Charleston. Here comes Miami. Bezecourt. And it's easy in the end for Leland Archer. Well, Kuzminski had a little bit of a chore to get rid of that, and it's back with the Miami FC here. Bit of a stoppage here. The referee just had a couple of things to take care of on the sideline there to make sure I think everyone was in check, and now we're back underway. Here comes Miami again. Remember, they were 3-1 down earlier. Velasquez. Searching ball into the penalty area, headed away by Marini, and Nelson will try to control for Charleston. So what was blocked? Kelly, good control. Now what can he do with it? Trying to find Baswa, who keeps it alive. Zico Lewis, can he keep it in? The flag stayed down, but he couldn't keep it in bounds for Charleston, and it'll go Miami's way. Still 2-2, by the way, between Philly and Hartford. They're right around where we are in our game. Both games could be in for fantastic finishes with similar things on the line for the road teams in both games. Williams picks it off for Miami and nearly had an opportunity to play it in for Saidi. But it stays with Miami for a throw on the near side. Velasquez. Ball. Heath. Sam. Saidi had to try to keep that in. Wasn't in the best position for him to make an impact, and it's out for a goal kick. Paul Daley has got to be thrilled. They were 2-0 down. At the half, it's 3-3, but then it's that next step, right? He's been so happy with some of the performances, Devin, but now it's about getting over the line, and Miami haven't won since September 12th. They're trying to end this unbeaten run that Charleston's had for quite some time now. 9-game unbeaten streak. It's about finishing it off now, isn't it?
It's pretty much been the issue the entire time here. Watch out. Again, another communication issue. Mark Pace has got to be better there. That's his box. He's got to take command. Never assume, especially the way that tonight's gone, that one of your center backs is going to be comfortable enough to make the right decisions.
Williams, big moment here. Oh, it was wide open. Bezecourt had it. The goal gaping, and he misses the chance to give Miami their first lead of the night.
The rotation, the build-up, everything in full exhibition for Miami FC. Great play out of the back. Lloyd Sam recognizes Romario Williams, and how unselfish by their striker as well. He could have gone this alone. He could have even cut it back and put it on his left foot, but instead has the trailing run out of Bezecourt, who actually got this 2-2 goals in the 60th minute. But unfortunately, a tiny little touch, and if that's not 20-20 for Miami FC, I don't know what is.
Well, Sebastian Velasquez,
it's an interesting move,
has just been substituted as we head into the second half hydro break. And you know Sloob is going to come on here. So again, Luba on and Velasquez off. Interesting there as we are into the hydration break, brought to you by Helbiz and your Miami FC mascot Golazo. Here's the scoreboard from the last week, and obviously the big result of the night is Sporting KC2's 2-1 victory over Indy 11, setting up a final match day showdown in St. Louis between St. Louis and Indy 11. The winner goes to the USL Championship playoffs. A draw gives it to Indy 11. And it's just a game that everyone's going to be looking forward to, no question about it. It's the last regular season game in St. Louis Football Club history, and they're trying to get to the playoffs for the second time in the club's history. And obviously right now it's still 2-2 between Philadelphia Union 2 and Hartford Athletic as the Union 2 try to pull off a bit of a surprise, no question about that, with Hartford trying to chase down Pittsburgh for the top spot in that group. So a ton of drama yet again, just another night in the USL Championship. And here it's 3-3 between Miami and Charleston. Charleston need to win to try to catch Tampa Bay for the top spot in Group H. Right now they have work to do. They were 2-0 up, they were 3-1 up, and now it's 3-3 with it all to play for with under 15 minutes to play.
And they haven't let up 3 goals the entire season. In fact, only a few have been able to manage a multi-goal game. A 3-2 win back on August 15th against Atlanta United 2. And you actually have to go back to their last loss prior to that, which was July 31st. Again, 9 games unbeaten right now. They lost 2-0 at the Rowdies at Al Lang.
Saidi, Kuzminski got there just in time, but it's still a chance here for Bezecourt. It could be the 4th, and Kuzminski makes the offside appeal a moot point. And there's a player down here as there's a yelling and screaming from the far side here. Offside was called anyway at the end of it. I think Paul Daley is wondering how a foul wasn't called in the midst.
The problem is the ball coming through. It's Romario Williams is well offside, and he impacts the play. Looked like Bezecourt did get whacked here a little bit, but watch as this comes square back across right around the penalty mark. There's the ball there, and he plays it through. He's in an offside position, so the play has to go dead. The minute that he touches it, regardless of the follow-through, that's the key factor. There's a touch of the ball and then a follow-through by the defender. Does he catch him enough for a penalty? I've seen penalties called for less, but you have to understand every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So the touch, offside, foul. Well done by the refereeing crew.
So play continues. Still 3-3, goodness. And the other part that's worth mentioning is that it could have been more for both teams. At one point, Charleston looked like they could have gone 3 or 4-0 up. Lovely defending there, although it falls for James. Now Zico Lewis trying to get it back to the substitute. Just out of the reach. Pardon me, that was Jesus Ibarra who almost got in behind there for the Charleston Battery. Plays back underway for Miami. Down for Heath, controlled by James. Here comes Miami again. Sam out wide. Saidi. Crawford got back in a good position and was fouled. Here come more changes.
This is something Paul Dalglish has done before. What he's going to do here is Mario Williams will take a seat and Miguel Gonzalez will come, but Mahmoud Chow will join him as well. And with the departure of Othelaba on the back line, he will start to rotate into a more customary three-back type system. Mike Anhauser talked about this with us, that he felt like Miami FC had a fair amount of success and that the Battery had trouble defending against it. 3-3 with 10 minutes to go, and a second half that has been a scramble, and that's putting it politely. I wonder what the response is going to be here, because the shape for the Battery has not been that great.
Substitution for Charleston Battery.
Both changes brought to you by Baptist.
Daley. Going in number 18, Jesus Ibarra. Substitutions.
When Ibarra came on, by the way, Nicu Daley made way. So both teams mixing and matching here with fresh legs. Both teams going for this, going for a winner in the final 10 minutes. First touch from Miguel Gonzalez. Chow ahead of him. Goes for the opposite side here. Saidi. Heath. Saidi and Heath again. Heath can open things up here. Good ball in, and the substitute is there, but he's offside. Mo Chow nearly with his first touch as a substitute, but he's a fraction offside. Here come Charleston the other way with Ibarra. Nelson over the top for Lewis. Misjudged initially, Lewis went down. No foul given. Play continues. Charleston have it back. Cleared away. And then finally booted upfield by Miami. Boy, who's going to score the next one here? Could go either way. One back, here's Kelly. Archer under some pressure. And he was pulled back by Chow. Marini. Basua. Kelly to Archer. Lewis has a few options here, including Basawa, who finds Ibarra. Chance for Charleston here. Ibarra! Oh, he nearly put on a plate. The follow-up shot is blocked as Crawford came flying in. And it's a corner for Charleston. Big block in there by Ndam defensively.
Son Ndam selling out his entire body for this one. And you know the challenge is going to come. Sometimes you just have to lay out and hope that you can catch some sort of piece of it. He does that and more.
In by Crawford, flicked on by Basawa, and last off Miami. It's another corner. And Charleston need 3 points to keep pace with Tampa for the top spot in Group H.
Just watch this here. As much push that we've seen out of Miami FC, you got to keep your marks right now.
Again towards Basawa, handball appeal is waved away. And a third chance on a corner for Charleston. In by Crawford. It's better this time for Basawa. He just couldn't quite direct it on goal. It was deflected away. Here comes Miami. Could it really open up here? Saidi across for Bezecourt, who's in here for Miami. It's Bezecourt who chips the goalkeeper, and it's blocked by Kuzminski. Charleston the other way now with Lewis. Oh, it's a lovely ball to Switchfield. It's opened up here again for Ibarra. Ibarra's ball in, deflected away. Could fall for a chance here. Crawford couldn't wriggle his way through, and it's cleared.
I'll give you a second to catch your breath here, Sean, because this thing is back and forth right now. Look at Miami FC trying to find a way for Van Schaik to get a touch on it. Cheeky with the chip is Vincent Bezecourt, but Kuzminski says no, and then they start to counter immediately the other direction. Everybody right now looking for that final dagger. Got to dig deep, though. The war of attrition is at play. The subs have been made. Your body's tired mentally. You have to stay locked in.
What an exhilarating final few moments it's been so far. We still got 6 to play. Here comes Miami yet again. Sam crosses it, and Saidi was there, but it's Kuzminski again, and a follow-up strike is ambitious from Brian James.
They need some help here defensively. Basawa and Ibarra, one of them have to discuss coming back to help clog up the middle because there's a rotation on the outside, and the wings are getting great pace out of those fresh legs in Lloyd Sam. Notice every single time they get down into the channel, they're achieving some spectacular service into the box.
Basawa tried to head it towards Ibarra, and luckily, the Miami FC supporter, Son Ndam, was there defensively to clean it up. Now here's Heath. Here, Paul Daley pushing Miami forward here. Luba, and again, it's another good ball in, but Van Schaik cleans it up, although his clearance is woeful here. Could have been centered there, and Archer was there, only as far though as Luba. Heath, Saidi, and Luba is offside.
If you're the Battery, take this moment to slow it down. And now's the time where you really have to just take a breath, catch your composure, and start to get back to what was your bread and butter in the opening 45 minutes. Forgot something there, by the way.
Basawa right through Luba there. Still with Charleston, still 4 minutes to play. A winner is still in the cards potentially, but who's going to score it? Saidi has help here on this near side. It's Miguel Gonzalez back onto his right boot. He thought he might have been dragged down. Referee waves it away. Here's Patterson for the Battery. Ibarra. Patterson Not sure where he was looking with that. As the court regains possession. Here's James, and he gives it away. Crawford. Big chance here for Charleston. Marini. Crawford. And it's a missed opportunity in the end. Boy, you can see Paul Daley there. Big opportunity for Miami. Looking for just their third win, potentially, of the season here, if they can get a fourth and see it out. Luba. Saidi. Shoots, it's blocked, rebound, trickles, is it over the line?
That's over.
Van Schaik couldn't clear it. It's 4-3, and the substitute, Miguel Gonzalez, has completed the turnaround.
Doesn't matter if it's a first half team or a second half team. Paul Dalglish and his band of misfit warriors can beat it with the best of them. Windows of opportunity are what they give you, but can you take it? Can you find a way to dig down deep and close something out when your back's up against the wall? Out of the playoffs, momentum lacking. But this second half has been nothing short of spectacular from Miami FC. What a comeback and what a finish. But by no means, given the way this has gone, is this over. You got about 90 seconds to get there and a bit of added extra time. Right now, Gonzalez has put them out in front.
Fourth goal of the season for Miguel Gonzalez. Goal brought to you by Helbiz Unlimited Rates for rides $29.99. Goodness gracious, they were 3-1 down, Miami. They were 2-0 down at halftime. They're now 4-3 up, and they could be in again here. It's Gonzalez again, trying to head it centrally. Leland Archer defends and clears. Goodness gracious, what a game this has been. And we still have a minute to go, plus stoppage time. Here's Heath. And it was given back initially, and it's going to go Miami's way. And Ibarra is still down, the substitute for the Battery. Comes another substitution here for Charleston. Sean Nebhart is getting set to come on, and looks like A.J. Patterson is going to make way. Looks like Harrison Heath has been cautioned as well during the substitution. Everything's going on tonight in Miami. There's the confirmation.
For Charleston Battery. Coming off number 20, A.J. Patterson. Going in at number 12, Deshaun Nembart.
Stoppage time presented by Miami FC Youth Academy. Want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register to the only academy in Miami connected to a local professional team. You wanted more? We got more for you. 5 added minutes to go in this one. Can Miami finish it off? Haven't beaten Charleston in 3 previous attempts. Saidi nearly finished the job, but it's over the top. Here's Basua.
Yellow card for Miami FC.
Can Charleston create another opportunity here? Lewis.
Yellow card was
miscommunication. Lewis kept on going here and goes down. The referee says that the goalkeeper got the ball first. Hayes gets there just ahead of Lewis.
Sometimes you're just looking for that from one player, and unfortunately, the relationship that was Zico Lewis, Rosachero, and Nicu Daley in the first half really hasn't taken shape here in the second.
Chow to James. Bezecourt. Still Bezecourt. And his shot is deflected. And it is another Demi Pais corner for Miami FC with under 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. And Paul Daley knows more than anybody. There's still a lot of time left. As Miami, especially in the second half, has played the role of spoilers tonight to a T. Miscommunication though, and it's given back to Charleston. Thrown upfield, headed away by Luba. Nelson for Kelly. Stolen by Nelson. Might have been a foul in there against Basua, and it's given by the referee. As Roseboom was fouled. Still 2 minutes to go. Now, looks like Charleston are running out of time, although in this game, 2 minutes still might be enough time for Charleston to save themselves here. Oops. Looks like a yellow card for time wasting for the goalkeeper, Mark Pace.
Think about this coming in, Sean, that went from an opportunity for the Charleston Battery. Win 2, gained the #1 overall seed. They were up 2-0, and they were up 3-1. And all of a sudden, this Miami FC team came to life. I said, keep an eye on the second half, watch the start of it, watch the rotation we saw. It all started with Romario Williams back in the 48th minute. And as they say, the rest is history. Just seconds here to close it out, but they are in jeopardy of not only falling to Miami FC, but falling to the #2 spot.
Oh, it's dropped here by Pace and cleared off the 6-yard line.
#1, Mark Pace.
Nearly an opportunity there for Charleston. Could Miami finish it here? Saidi, and he's offside, and then boots it away. Paul Dalglish wondering if he was in his own half, and Saidi is booked for kicking the ball away. Tampa Bay is starting to sit a little pretty now in Group H. Is there time for Charleston, though, to nick it?
Send them all forward. It doesn't matter at this point.
And shake to Archer.
Put him in the box.
Nelson. Chance for Charleston again, and it's out of the reach of Lewis. And that might be that. Final few moments here in what's been a contender for one of the games of the season so far in the USL Championship. How much more time is left in it here? Miami could be in here to finish the job. It's Gonzalez. It's Chow. It's saved. Miami still have it. They try to see out an improbable victory here. And that's full time. A 7-goal heart stopper in Miami. And from 2 goals down, Miami FC wins it. And as it stands, as we've been told by the USL Championship at this point, the Tampa Bay Rowdies are your Group H winners. And Charleston let it slip in Miami. What a game. 2-0 up at the half. Charleston looked like they were running away with it. They could have been 3 or 4-0 up, but Miami fought back. Paul Dalglish's side fought back, and you can see the frustration on the faces of the Charleston Battery players. They know they let this one slip away, and they could not, in the end, pull it out. What a fantastic performance by our Helb's man of the match, Sebastian Velasquez. Devin, he was a difference maker when Miami needed one, and he was one of the big reasons Miami now has their 3rd win of the season.
Deserves it for sure, and so does this entire squad, because Paul Daley said to us coming in, we're trying to find the right blend of character and culture, and though we may not have it right now, we have an idea of what it should look like in the future, and he specifically referenced Sebastian Velasquez, wanted him on the field more, said he was such an influential piece. They just hadn't got the opportunity to get everybody on the field together. They did that tonight. He bags a goal and an assist in their comeback in a 4-3 win over the Charleston Battery. Hats off, because this was a spectacular performance, especially in the second half by the Miami FC.
We'll take a break.
Welcome to Pita Zone, fresh Mediterranean grill. Halal certified, it's South Florida's choice for healthy and deliciously authentic Mediterranean flavors. Visit us at www.pitazone.com. We're partners with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Postmates. Go healthy, eat Mediterranean.
Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr, we have caught our breaths after this fantastic 7-goal thriller in Miami under the lights. It was a fantastic performance from Miami in the second half to pull it out. Take a look at the full-time highlights from this one, presented by the Miami FC Youth Academy. Devin, I don't know about you, you've seen quite a few fantastic games this season as well. This has got to be up there, and Nikhil Daley got us started.
It's definitely got a lot of excitement going back and forth. Have you ever heard a tale of two halves, right? I mean, that's exactly what you got here. Charleston Battery, 1-0 in the 12th minute. Nikhil Daley would double that lead in the 30th minute. And you thought, okay, exactly what is this going to look like? Are the Battery going to run away with it? No, because the Miami FC, they really gained some quality momentum, started to get an idea of what they wanted to look like going forward. And I don't necessarily mean that offensively. I mean their vision. You know, where was the rotation going to come from? Could Romario Williams get on the scoreboard? 48th minute, yes. But then just like that, you go back to 3-1. Robbie Crawford gets his first goal in a Charleston Battery uniform, and they get that 2-goal lead. But Vincent Bezecourt starts to answer. Sebastian Velasquez, we saw it a mile away, lofts a great ball to the back post, and then, just watch me work now, bottom corner. 3-2. This kid can play at the highest level in United States soccer pyramid, no matter what it is, and he starts to give you a glimpse of it. Remember, Miami FC, we talk about, it's about glimpses. It's about these tiny little windows that they show you. This was probably the longest extended window that I've seen out of them the entire year. And I've seen every game that they played. They bagged 4 goals in the second half. Miguel Gonzalez gets the game winner. And it comes from a game winner, by the way, that in 2017 was Jimmy Nielsen's guy. He took that OKC team all the way to the brink and back, almost to the USL Championship final. They're not there tonight, but he gets the 4th goal in the game winner.
Full-time stats brought to you by Root Smarts. Here, eat your veggie chips from farm to bag in 24 hours. Look at the shots, 19-17 in favor of Charleston, 9-7 in favor of Miami on target. And one of the games of the season in the USL Championship finishes 4-3.
36 shots overall, and to be fair, 7 in the back of the net. I mean, you're basically at 20%. It's well done by Miami FC to battle back in. Charleston Battery, heads are going to be down after this one, Sean.
As it stands, it's what we've been told by the USL Championship. Tampa Bay Rowdies are your Group H winners, and in a 7-goal thriller, Miami pulls it out from 2 and 3-1 down to beat Charleston 4-3. For Devin Kerr and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Miami. What a game and what a night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.